So, I want to start with a story. So I was last year at an unconference. It was organized by a search engine, and it was about journalism. And there I talked with a representative of a search engine, and we quickly talked about business models. And then he told me, well, you know, it's possible to make money with journalism. Just look at the Daily Mail. He said the Daily Mail. I mean, and this is not true, by the way. Even George Clooney hates the Daily Mail because the Mail 2 years ago published a story about his wife that was so outrageously false that Clooney called the Mail the worst kind of tabloid. And I think it's important to make a classification on tabloids. So that would be my idea of a typical tabloid. Publishing distasteful stories, not great journalism. But then you have the Daily Mail. We know from, so that would be my idea of the Daily Mail. We know from former staffers, for instance, that the Mail purposefully publishes false stories. And so my question now is, why does the search engine believe that the Daily Mail is journalism? And I think that the search engine believes that anything that goes into a journal, whether print, on air, or online, is journalism. And it sounds like it makes sense. Except it doesn't make sense, because if it did, these two people, Dmitry Kiselev, I think, from Russia One, and Mark Abra from the Panama Papers, they would be doing the same job, right? Or Anya Reschke, who's going to appear in a second, and Nemet Balázs from the Hungarian state TV, they'd be doing the same thing. And, well, you know they don't. They don't do the same job because, for me, journalism is about two things. The first thing is information. This is what a journalist gets using different types of sources, data, interviews, whatever. That's when the journalist, she looks for the truth, and then she gets information. And she packages this information with content, and content is what is going to be delivered to the end user. And if you remove information from the equation, then journalism goes away. It's as simple as that. And if you go back to the Daily Mail and Russia One, well, they don't really care about information at all. What they do is they take content from different sources, they repackage it. In the case of Russia One, the source is mostly the Russian government. So they take this content, repackage it, publish it again. No concern for information whatsoever. And it's funny when it's about Russia and tabloids, but remember in 2002, when the New York Times, alongside with many other American newspapers, published stories that they knew to be false, that were given by the US government about the weapons of mass destruction that Iraq did not have. And 13 years later, you still have people saying this. Reporters really, literally know nothing. I'll give them some color and they'll be putting this message out on their own. And the person who said that is a former staffer, that's this guy, a former staffer in the Obama administration. He was bragging that he could influence any journalist he wanted, and he saw that it was because news organizations don't have enough money. But I don't think it's true. A news organization like Bellingcat, for instance, shows that it's possible to create information with very little resources by using material that has been published on the web. So it's not about the money, it's really about the willingness to focus on this difference between fact and fiction. We cannot give up on the difference between fact and fiction, is what German historian Karl Schlögl said. He said that about Russian media, but it applies to Europe and the US as well. Finally, this is another lie from the Daily Mail. Of course, it's easy to make money with lies, with fiction, because people like it, people are going to click on it. But my whole point is to say that the search engine doesn't really care about this difference between fact and fiction because they can sell ads next to both. So it doesn't matter to the search engine, but my point is it should matter to you, the journalist. Thank you.
Thank you.